Hello everyone, it's Kari from sunshineinmypocket.com. Today I have a fun project using the new Welcome Home stamp set from Sizzix Stamps. For this project, I thought it would be fun to have a brick background for that spooky house. And so I'm making it with this really cool brick embossing folder. This is a 3D folder, so the bricks kind of look all different levels. They look like real bricks. I just love them. I used regular cardstock with this and I ran it through my die cutting machine 3 times to get this look. Now I'm taking some Distress Oxides and I'm just going to run them over the tops of these bricks. I'm trying not to think too much about this. I want this house to look kind of spooky, to have different darks and light areas. So I'm just using a variety of Distress Oxides here for this one, and this is looking pretty good. I'm just going to add a few more touches of color here, and look at that. Now to give it a little more realistic look, I've got some colors of distress paints here. I've got the white, the antique linen, and a little bit of, I believe that's weathered wood, and I'm using those to kind of add some color to what would be the grout lines. So all I'm doing is taking some of the paint, spreading it in the grout lines, and then wiping it off with my finger if I get some on the bricks themselves. This is going to make it pop out just a little more, look a little more like a real brick wall, which is going to turn into our brick house actually. But really cool look and super simple and easy to do. So I'm kind of combining all the 3 colors, just taking turns using some and then the other. I've watered some down a little bit, but I found that I really liked it the best when I used the paint straight. So for my second one, I'm going to add some fired brick color to this one. A little bit of gray, now some fired brick. I'll go in with a little bit of the pumice stone and frayed burlap as well to add some browns. I think I might have pulled in some vintage photo as well, but look at this. I've got all these different colors going. I'm going to make this look like an old brick house right here on this one. And this is going to be for our second house. So I'm making 2 different cards today with some different techniques, and one is if you feel like coloring, and the other is for when you don't feel like coloring. So I'm going to show you 2 different ways to pull these together, just to give you some ideas and jumpstart your creativity. This Welcome Home stamp set with the spooky house is a favorite of mine, so that's why I couldn't wait to finish this video and show it to you before Halloween. For the red brick, I am taking some of the leftover paint on my mat here, and I'm just going to flick it on with a paintbrush. I've watered it down quite a bit so that I could add some of those paint splotches, and now I'm just putting some in those grout lines as well. This is really going to make this house look older, like it's been here for a long time. So you can see I'm just adding it real quickly and wiping it clean with my finger. Here's a look at our 2 panels, and don't they look great? They look really cool. So now it's time to add that spooky house. I went ahead and cut it out. The original stamp has some bricks on it, but I cut around those bricks so that they would not be in this little house, the house doorway. We're instead just using the bricks from the background that we created, and now I'm going to color these up. As I mentioned, one will be colored and the other we're going to leave black and white. So I'm going to show you how we're going to pull those together. And for this one, I'm going to color the steps to look like cement. So just using some neutral grays here, very simple coloring. And for the door itself, I'm going to use some colors of green. I thought a green door would be a little bit spooky. And so my darkest green is this G28. I'm going around the whole perimeter of the door, and then I'm going to add some darker spots around the corners here. Then we'll go ahead and blend that out with the medium shade of green. Whoops, there we go. That's the YG17. So just blending that out, and then I'll also add a lighter color of green, and I'm going to color this whole door up in greens. The center part is really cool. It could be glass, it could be stained glass. Those could be different colors in there, but I decided to color it all up in green and make it kind of look like patchwork, or what am I trying to say? Like a quilted, to me, it looks like a quilted, could be a quilted door, quilted corduroy. I don't know. But I just thought it was funny and I liked it for this Halloween house. So I'm coloring the lowest parts of each of those sections, the darkest green, going in with the lighter greens. And I brought in a few other shades of green too, just for all of the difference. This is a small image, so you certainly don't have to add all of these colors that I did, but I really love how this turned out. I'm going to finish coloring up the pumpkins using some oranges and browns, the broom with some yellows and browns, coloring up the bat and the cat, of course, in blacks. Now I'm going around the whole thing with some of the red brick Distress Oxide, and that's going to look like it belongs on this background. So this is going to look like it's all part of one house. And then for the sentiments, I have a few of them on these strips here. I'm going to cut them apart. I've colored them up with that same fired brick Distress Oxide. Now I'm going to back them with a little bit of black cardstock and cut those apart. So this is going to say, come in for a spell. Fright this way. I love that. And then I'll pop up the house with some foam tape. I've already colored the sidewalk kind of a cement gray there, and then we'll put this whole thing on a black mat. So there is our spooky welcome home Halloween house with the brickwork. It's really, really fun. And here is our black and white. This one I just cut out with a square die, and you can add as many embellishments to this as you want. I cut it just a little bit wonky. You can see the bottom is not exactly straight, but it is straight on the top. So I cut this as well as I could. And now to hide the fact that I cut it a little bit crooked, it happens, right? It's homemade. I'm going to cover it up with some of these gemstones and some silver baubles from Trinity stamps. And there you go. That is our black and white card on the gray brick. Here's our colored house on the red brick. And I think it's really fun. A couple different ideas for you. I hope you enjoyed this video today using the Welcome Home stamp set that's brand new from Missing Stamps. If you did, give me a thumbs up. It really does help with YouTube. And I'll be back with more card making inspiration real soon. Bye-bye.